Creating an informal design for a courtyard. That's today's title of the segment that we're producing from beautiful Syracuse Lake. And this is a grand place to be doing a landscape design segment today here, Mark.
It is, and what a glorious day.
Yeah.
We're at a home that actually did some other projects here several years ago.
What did this property look like when you arrived? You've told me that they are an existing client, so you've been back here a time or two, but before we get into a lot of the detail here, what did it look like?
Well, just got done making quite a few changes. A sidewalk that we're standing on here, this is a brand new stamped concrete sidewalk, and it leads up to the courtyard, and the courtyard was very much overgrown. It was a tired landscape, and there really wasn't anything that we could repurpose or save, and so pretty much took everything out, started with a clean slate.
There are times, right, when you have to just kind of cut bait, I guess is what you say, right?
Absolutely.
In the business?
You're right.
And you just do it brand new. Well, when you think of landscape design in a courtyard, you think formal.
You do.
This is really not that at all, is it?
No, and it's a very informal landscape, and it goes along with a very relaxed, informal type of house. And homeowners just like to relax here and enjoy the beautiful view of the lake.
Could there be a better look or a better view than what we're seeing right here today?
Oh my goodness, this house sits up high,
Yeah.
and this new sidewalk and railing just winds down to the lake, gives them easy access.
Fantastic. Well, let's begin talking about what you've done here, Mark.
Well, along this side here, and again, a pretty narrow, tight area. We only have a 4-foot wide landscape bed, and we want to plan for 20, 25 years worth of growth. And we don't want to have the homeowner keeping things heavily pruned
Sure.
away from the sidewalk. And so it all starts out with proper plan for the area. And these work out beautifully. These are our columnar cypress called slender hinoki cypress. And Craig, these will only get to be 3 to 4 feet in width, and that's with 0 pruning. And then they're going to give us some vertical height here. Now we always follow the architecture of the house, and so
Yeah.
we have no windows here, so we're wanting to have some height. And we also like to work with odd numbers, and so therefore we've got 3 of these slender hinoki cypress evenly spaced out. And then we've got the kitchen window here. Of course, we don't want to cover that up. We want to allow plenty of sunlight to come into the home. And so we've got one of our low maintenance drift roses here, one of our miniature roses that blooms nonstop all spring, all summer, all fall, all the way up until Thanksgiving, maybe Christmas.
That long, huh? That's
They
fantastic.
do bloom for a long time.
Now, the ground cover that you've chosen here does a nice job contrasting with the siding.
Well, thank you. We actually have a couple different types of ground cover. We're using our native stone ground cover here, commonly referred to as washed river gravel.
Okay.
It's important to the homeowners to have a very low maintenance landscape, and so we've got a woven fabric weed barrier underneath that stone. It allows water to go through but prevents any weeds from coming up.
Very nice, very nice. Well, you know, it's not every day that you arrive at a project where there has been some work done by another contractor, maybe in certain areas, but when you look at the job they've done here in the courtyard, and we'll look at that in just a bit, you really liked what they did here.
Oh my goodness, it gives a nice fresh new look.
Yes.
We're accenting this corner here with one of our little miniature Alberta spruce called a Jean's Dilly spruce. And Craig, this only grows a fraction of an inch each year. Eventually it's going to get to be about 4.5, 5 feet in height, but that's going to be 10, 15 years from now.
Gotcha.
And we have 0 concern of it ever outgrowing this area.
Very good. Well, walking into the new part here where they've even put a new fence in, haven't they?
Yes, the iron fence is a recent addition here, and we had various planting pockets and wanted to have focal points for each area. And what we've got here is one of our columnar upright Japanese maples called a bloodgood Japanese maple, and it maintains those burgundy colored leaves all spring, all summer, and into the fall.
I like the look. I like the look, Mark. What else?
Well, the homeowner loves to decorate for Christmas, and I promised him that he would be able to have a tree that would be mature enough that would be able to support Christmas tree lights this winter, and we have accomplished that here with this beautiful specimen tree, and it will be easily kept pruned within this area and not get too large.
What about the complementary shrubs that we're seeing here? Was that all part of the plan to get something that really flows with the maple?
It was, and thanks for noticing, Craig. These are some of our gold thread cypress, very low maintenance. They don't grow real fast, and they don't get huge. Very, very soft to the touch, and I always like mixing the golds along with the burgundies here. And then also we've got a little perennial here, and this is called a Semicifuga chocolate snake root, and features these dark burgundy colored leaves, and gets its name snake root because in the spring and summertime it has taller spikes of pink and white flowers, and those flowers actually resemble snakes. But that's going to do a nice job of filling in this little corner here. Those burgundy leaves are going to contrast nicely up against this lighter colored stone.
Yeah, I can see that. Very nice. Very nice. What else here, Mark?
Well, we wanted to go with an informal look, and so you don't see really balance or symmetry here. Again, we're working with a lot of odd numbers. We've got some boulders, which we repurposed. They were here with the original landscape. They were just totally hidden and covered up, and so reused those. We've got some very cool golden sword century plants. They're in the evergreen family, but they're actually a perennial. And these feature green and gold striped leaves, and then as an added bonus during the summertime you get taller spikes with white bell-shaped flowers which appear on them, and they're going to hover up above the plant and get to be about 3.5 4 feet in height.
You know, I would think, Mark, living on a lake, we're here at Syracuse Lake, you're probably going to get maybe some mosquitoes.
Oh,
and
guaranteed.
And you've got a plan for that, don't you?
Yes. You know, this courtyard really is an outdoor living area. We've got some built-in bench seating here. It's really a nice place, little private place that you can sit down and have a refreshing glass. Actually, Bob and I, when we were out here last time, sat down here, and his lovely wife created a nice cool drink for both of us.
Very good.
And that was prior to any of this being done, but yes, it's a lovely sitting area here. And Craig, what we did was we incorporated some of our little dwarf Hinoki cypress in here, and these are evergreens that actually help repel mosquitoes.
Wow.
And so I always try and incorporate these into outdoor living areas, decks and patios, just to keep those mosquitoes away.
You know, it's great that you can do that, Mark, but nice too on the other side of that coin that they look so beautiful.
Well, thank you. It is the bones of the landscape. These are evergreens. They're going to maintain that type of look 12 months out of the year. And again, because we didn't want a formal look, these are very soft to the touch, and we're not pruning these into certain shapes. It's not a globe, it's not a pyramid shape, it's just a fluffy free-form shape, and that's what the homeowners were after.
Now, I would think, Mark, a little bit of a challenge when you look at the ground cover here. You've done two different kinds of ground cover in the same property. You don't do that every day.
Absolutely. No, but it works because they're really two separate areas. And this is our stonebark ground cover. And this is actually not a native stone. This is actually man-made to look like bark nuggets. And the homeowner really appreciates the natural look of bark. But again, they did not want the maintenance and having to refresh or replenish the bark as it slowly deteriorated. They are going to get over 20 years worth of use out of this. And what I love is the blend of colors here. It looks really nice with the stone and the new decking. We not only have brown tones in here, but we have some gray. It plays off of our new deck boards quite nicely.
Mark, some good color here with a coral bell, right?
Absolutely. And it's our Peach Crisp coral bells. It gets its name Peach Crisp because of the peachy color that you see on the leaves. And then the ruffled leaves represents the crisp part of the name. And yeah, you know what? When you run your hands over it, look at the underside of those leaves.
No kidding.
And if we had a slight breeze here, you would be able to really appreciate those two different colors. I love the color combination that's going on.
And you don't need 100 of these, do you?
No, we just have two of them.
Yeah.
They're going to get to be about 12 inches in height and about 18 inches in width. And then during the late spring and early summertime, you get spikes of pink flowers, which attract both hummingbirds and butterflies.
Very good. Well, tell us what else is going on here, Mark.
Well, we've got this really long expanse of a wall. We needed some height to kind of soften that. These are some really incredible dwarf peach trees known as patio peaches. And these put on a beautiful display of color in the springtime. Hot pink colored flowers cover each of the individual branches. These are only going to get to be about 5 feet in height, and they'll stay within this growing area.
Nice touch. What else going on here, Mark?
Well, we've got the gem over here, and beautiful red Japanese lace leaf maple. And what I like about this, Craig, is that we've got this white stone in the backdrop, and those reddish burgundy colored leaves contrast nicely against that. And when the homeowners and guests pull up to this property, we are always wanting to create a layered look, and so we want to keep this lower so that you can see and appreciate the other Japanese maple behind it.
Yeah, not only that, you can get a pretty good look at the lake too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
And something else that we've got here is another ornamental plant. It's our Japanese forest grass, and what I like is it kind of has a resemblance of bamboo, and it maintains this bright green and gold variegated leaf all spring, summer, and fall. It stays low. It's a shade-loving ornamental grass, and it contrasts nicely with these reddish colored leaves.
I love the courtyard. This is so informal, but so nicely appointed. And you've got some work going on in the back here too.
Yes, a couple of ornamental grasses. These are our feather reed grasses, and these are summer blooming grasses, which is quite unusual. Now they've been cut back for the season, and next year they're going to get to be about 4.5, 5 feet in height. It's a columnar or vertical type of grass. That means it's non-flopping, so that if you're sitting here in the seating area, you're not going to have grasses on your backside.
Yeah,
so.
You don't want that, do you?
Absolutely not.
Well, Mark, it's not too late, is it, to make that appointment and have you come out and do a landscape quote, maybe for someone watching right now that would like to maybe do a courtyard like this?
We are still scheduling projects for this fall, and actually typically install all the way up until Christmas.
And here at Syracuse Lake is a great place to be, but it doesn't matter where that place would be for you, right? You can go anywhere.
Anyone within the viewing area.
Very good. Well, lots of things going on here, and we hope that you go online to learn more about Lintons at lintons.com. We've got much more coming up. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.